Meeple Talk! Hi everyone, my name's Stephanie.
And I'm Adam.
And welcome to Meeple Talk. So this time we're going to be talking about Takenoko.
Yes, so Takenoko is a game about feeding a panda
Essentially.
who eats a lot of bamboo. So this game is in Japanese bamboo garden theme. It's for 2 to 4 players. Takes about 45 minutes to play. It's definitely in the category of a family game. In the sense that it's very accessible. There's not a lot of competition involved in the game, and in fact, there's very little competition. It's it's a very light strategy as well, and it's manufactured by Bombix, or I should say, it's published by Bombix. I've never heard of them before, but they created a really nice looking game. So
generally, yes, not only do pandas eat bamboo, but also a variety of bamboo. And so what happens is that all of the players, they have different missions that they need to complete, and these are dictated by cards like these. So some of them, you'll notice that the bamboo that grows with these pieces that make it grow taller.
Nice quality wooden pieces, by the way. Really
so
nice
some of your objectives might have to relate to growing a certain color of bamboo to a certain height. Also, it could be when it comes to planting your bamboo plots. You may have to set them in a certain configuration, in a certain variety. Also, pandas, they also have to eat as well. So sometimes these mission cards, you'll see here, different colors of bamboos will get you certain allotments, and also sometimes same color bamboo mission cards. And the points on the bottom, well, that just tells you how many victory points you got for completing your certain mission. So all players, what they do is that they're competing not only for points values, but also the first to reach a certain number of missions. We'll start with the end game, and after which point you'll start collecting or counting your points to see who's the overall winner.
Yeah, and so whoever gets to that, magic number of missions, and it depends on another players. You may have to get to 7 or 8 or 9 missions before the final round, and then you score your points. But the person who gets to that number of missions completed, or I should say objectives in the game, they get this Emperor token, he gets an extra 2 points.
The favor of the Emperor.
Yes, exactly.
So extra 2 victory points. And so how we complete these missions, I mean, you can decide in what order your objectives are going to be finished in. But you might have some events happen that influence how you're going to complete them. So, for example, they all have the weather die, so they may cause you to choose different actions, like either using the same action twice or enhancements to your plot, like extra rain and whatnot. Also, in order to grow your bamboo, there's also different settings that you have to establish in order to allow them to grow. So you might notice here that there's a pond tile from which all water flows. And so you can build these channels that you actually have to build them to get to a plot in order to irrigate it. You also may have certain land enhancements like enhanced irrigation. You may have fertilizer as well. And even to protect your bamboo, a no panda zone. So it's like you've created a barrier to protect that bamboo from being eaten down by the panda.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
just to give you an idea of a particular objective, going through to completing that objective, and we'll start with one of the simple ones. So here's a panda who needs to eat 2 pieces of bamboo. So here we have some yellow bamboo. So one of your actions could be moving the panda and eating a piece of bamboo, and you put it in your reserve. And once you've got 2, then you can play that card down. So these cards are held in your hand and cannot be seen by other players until you've completed the objective. So they don't know what you're up to, right?
Yeah.
Very much like, for example, Ticket to Ride, where you have these routes and no one knows what you're up to, right? So in that sense, there's, it limits the amount of competition that can be involved in the game. So in this case, I moved him and he ate some, but what if there is no bamboo on the board? And what if there are even no yellow tiles that can grow bamboo? So then one of my actions, and by the way, these are action tokens. You get 2 actions per turn after you've rolled the weather die to see what happens with the weather. So one of my actions could be to pick a tile. So what you'll do is you'll take 3 from the top and you can choose one of them. So in this case, I need yellow. We're just imagining that there's no yellow tiles that are useful to me right now. So then you place that tile and add it to the board. And once you've added it, for example, this yellow tile is way out here. here's the special pond tile that irrigates everything,
Yeah.
but there's no blue irrigation to reach it. So maybe my next action would be to take an irrigation channel, and then I can place it, and eventually I can get it to this, and then I can grow bamboo with another action, maybe on another turn, moving the gardener there. And when you move the gardener to a spot, then he can grow bamboo. And then some of the enhancements, for example, if you have this, rake enhancement, I forget what it's actually
Fertilizer.
called. Fertilizer, yes,
Yeah.
that's it. So then, if that's on the tile, then when he grows bamboo, it will grow twice as fast. So that's essentially how you complete an objective, right? And that's essentially the whole game right there. Players take turns, doing their actions and rolling the die, and eventually you complete a number of objectives, and then the end game, and then you score, and the only points you're scoring are the ones on these cards.
The completed missions.
Yes.
So yeah. So when we were referring to earlier as a lighthearted starter game, so one of the things that's nice about it is that it is meant family-wise. It is good for a lot of age ranges, and also for people who don't have really a lot of experience with a lot of long strategy games. It is competitive in the sense that sometimes you'll have some actions that may hurt another player or even help another player, but it's not the type where you create like a long-standing target throughout the entire game. Some games have the disadvantage that if you have an early lead a little bit, you're then targeted and you're at at a disadvantage throughout the rest of the game. So this is not that. There's a little bit of competition, a little bit of helpfulness, a little bit of randomness as well, but it's not a long game type of game. So and so I like this game. I think the only thing that we were talking about earlier that might be a little bit off balance is just the way in which certain objective tiles are awarded point-wise. Some of them might seem a little bit unbalanced for the level of effort you have to go towards achieving them. Sometimes that might be a little shortchanged compared to some of the other tiles.
Yeah.
But overall, that's not a big
it's not
detractor.
a big criticism.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
found that it's easy for the pandas to eat, but and not too hard to make the configurations, right? But when it comes to growing bamboo, sometimes they have special conditions, and someone can ruin it by putting something on there that's not supposed to be on there when you're growing it, and so
because some conditions I might say that it could be any type of bamboo growing on any plot, or they could say it has to have a certain enhancement or no enhancements. So that makes it just a little bit trickier to try to achieve that.
Yeah, we just found that these point values didn't seem to reflect how hard these are. So when I think experienced players will maybe take the panda eating bamboo objectives first, and then when all of those are gone, they might take the red ones.
But then again, with game playing experience, if you're with a group of friends who've played this game a couple times, everyone knows that. So it's not that one person's got the runaway advantage the whole time. It balances itself. After
it definitely does. Yeah, and I find that it's a very quick game to learn. The rules are really well designed. They even have
a storyline.
I
think it's
they have like a little comic going on to tell you the backstory of the game, which is really cool, right?
It's pleasant. It really is a pleasant game to look at. Artwork is nice. It's very lighthearted. Well done as well. I mean, the illustrations are good. The pieces are nice, and they're well thought out as well. So it's just a visually really appealing game as well. So I quite like it.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a family game, a game that can be played fairly quickly in under an hour, this is a really good game. Really good theme. And I found that it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So overall, we say give it a try. So excellent. So, I'll say so yet again. This has been Meeple Talk reviewing Takenoko, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye bye.